Hello. I'm going to talk about today how you can use your iPad as a document camera. And then in addition to that, we'll look at how you can use Microsoft Whiteboard as a built-in app in the Teams application so that you can use these tools in much the same way that you would use a smartboard and a document camera in your classroom when kids are physically present. To use your iPad as a document camera, you really just need to find something that props it up. In this case, I just looked around the house and I found this shelf down in my pantry. And one nice thing about this shelf is you can look up through the holes here, and right there's the camera for the iPad. So you can actually situate this iPad however you wish, however it works best for you. You could do it in portrait view, turn it sideways for landscape view. The other nice thing about something like this is just that you can see what you're writing on as you're doing it. There are commercially available products that allow you to use your iPad as a document camera. But really, if you just get crafty around your house and look for something, you probably should be able to find something that won't cost you anything. All right, we're going to start by opening Microsoft Teams. We're going to jump into a meeting. I'm going to go ahead and go to the ellipsis. I'm going to tap screen recording. Some of you record your sessions, some of you do not. I'm going to record it so that I can throw it into this how-to video that we're working on right now. The next thing I want to do is I want to share my screen. So you have some options here. The one we're going to pick is the bottom, share screen. You have to do one more step, which is to start the broadcast. Once you've done this, you can swipe Teams away. Teams is still there, it's still running. You're still broadcasting to your students. But what you need right now, since you're sharing your screen, is you need your camera. Open up your camera and you have your content that you're working on. So if you want to point out to the students that you'd like for them to solve for X, then give them a chance to do that. Next, I'm going to show you how you can take Microsoft Whiteboard and use this right within Teams. So while we're still sharing our screen in Microsoft Teams, now we can use Microsoft Whiteboard. Microsoft Whiteboard is relatively simple. You could sit with your iPad for about an hour in front of the TV in the evening just playing with it, and you'll feel comfortable. But one thing that you're able to do with this is everything that you write here, everything that you present here, your students will see. You can use anything really. I'm using an Apple Pencil. Some people have those. You can use a cheap stylus. This stylus was about $1 off of Amazon. Of course, you can also use your finger. So if we wanted to copy our problem down, and show this as an example to the students, they would be able to see this as you're talking about it, as you're discussing it. The other thing to note about Microsoft Whiteboard is that you can use it in two ways. One way is that you can use it as just instructive, like we were doing right now, but you can also use it in a collaborative way. And by doing so, you open up the board to everybody. So for instance, you can scroll over to another portion. It's an infinite collaborative tool. So the board just goes on and on. If you wanted to go someplace and say, hey, group A, I have a couple problems I would like for you to solve. We're going to come back in a few minutes and we're going to discuss it. You could go, here's your problem. You could go to another section of the board. Hey, group B, here are some problems I would like for you to solve as well. You can also set these up ahead of time if you like, and save this whiteboard. So once you've finished discussing the problem or whatever you're going to discuss, if you needed to go back to your document camera, just slide up from the bottom, hit your camera. You're right back to your document camera. And then you need to go right back to the whiteboard. You slide up again and you hit Microsoft Whiteboard. You can go back and forth as often as you like. Now you're looking at the video from your students' perspective. So your students at home, They're looking at your document camera as you're using it through your iPad. So I'm writing out the problem. The students are only seeing this. They're not seeing really other students as the main view. They're really just seeing what you're working on. And you can see I've switched from the document camera to Microsoft Whiteboard. So I'm writing out the problem now and finding a solution to the problem using the Whiteboard software. And you can see I've slid up from the bottom. I've switched back to my document camera. And now I switched back to the Microsoft Whiteboard. I hope that helps. Please reach out to me anytime. My name is Eric Murphy. You can also reach out to my colleagues, Amber Maddie and Jimmy Stewart, for any of your technology integration needs. We'd be happy to help.